We're finally back today with the start of a brand new season in WOR. This is the start of season 12, round 1 of a 15 round season then, this time here at Spa. And this then is once again tier 5 on Xbox. And yeah, I'm glad to be back here again then. As I mentioned last season, I enjoyed it a lot, racing in this league and in this tier, so I was glad to be back here again then, taking part in this tier. Yeah, I mean, the only other option I could have been in was tier 3, and I think that would have been a bit out of my depth, because yeah, that's the only other tier that races on a Wednesday, and yeah, that's the only day that I can race. So yeah, it was either this or tier 3, and as I say, I would never have been quick enough, I don't think, for tier 3. So yeah, I'm glad to still be here then in tier 5, and yeah, it's good to have quite a few of the people that we raced with last season still here. Obviously, it's no surprise that the champion from last season, Limpjet, he has moved up a few tiers then, and the same for Amaze as well, because he was very quick. I think Liam has also moved up as well, but we do have quite a few of the drivers that we raced with last season still here. We've got obviously me, we've got Alex, Slapbus, ABS Fan, Deer Hunter, TLR10, Bybin, Harjay, Pingu, and also Peanut, who we all raced with last season. So quite a few of the people that yeah, were here last season are still here this time round, and yeah, glad to be, you know, racing with them again then. Obviously looking forward to seeing who the new people who we race with, how they are as well then. Obviously it's round 1, we don't really know who's going to be the favourites yet, so this is always quite an exciting time then, just when, you know, things are starting out here then. And we kick off the new season then with the new driver BRT Wolf taking pole position here then. So yeah, already quite an exciting start here. Pingu is second and Artem is third. We were 8th then in the end, just under half a second off of pole. Now my teammate wasn't actually here for this one. My normal teammate is this fan, but he wasn't here. So we've got the reserve driver Enrique then instead, and he was, I think, 15th there on the grid. And yep, strategy then is going to be obviously starting on the soft tyres that we qualified on, and we're going to try, well, I would hope that we go on to mediums, but once again, I wasn't really confident with tyre wear here. I probably should have done a bit more work, considering that was something I was unsure about last season as well. To be honest though, we had 4 safety cars here in the race last season, and this is, you know, round 1 of the season. You know, some people won't have raced for, you know, a month or so, and yeah, I was expecting quite a lot of incidents here to happen, so I was thinking, you know, we'll just let the safety cars happen and we'll come up with some new strategy, I guess, depending on what happens there. That was my thinking here. I wasn't really too worried about having to make the tyres last here then until lap 7 or 8, or whenever it would be a good time here. As we lined up now then on the grid, the lights are coming on now, and season 12 is underway, and it wasn't really the best start for us there then. North Alex there alongside us on the 4th row. We've got a nice gap here though on the outside towards the first corner, and we've just not quite worked out for us there then. Up in front of us, Slapbus ran off the track there a little bit, and it was Oliver Loveland there who made a very good start, making up I think 3 positions there by the looks of things in that first corner, as we're following then the pack through the through Rouge and Red on here then, and we're right on the back of Slapbus here then down the Camel Straight, so hopefully there'll be a chance here to make an overtake. We've got TLR10 right on the back of us as well here then, as we're on the outside here then for Lacom, side by side with Slapbus, but not quite close enough there to make the move. And then up in front of us, we've got a collision there between Artem and Pingu, and that looks like both of them out of the race there then, so not the start that they wanted. And the other Aston Martin though, of TLR10, has managed to make that move stick then, just as the safety car is deployed, so yeah, good timing from him there then to get that move done. And yeah, this, obviously as I say, this is exactly what I was expecting then, incidents here then, and the safety cars. And well, I took this chance straight away then to pit and change the strategy, because I really just wasn't confident at all with the strategy. Well, I have to say, the more that I watch this back, the more I wonder why I did this. I pit now then for mediums. My thinking at the time was that I could then go longer into the race and either go on to another set of mediums, or if the tyre wear was better than expected, go over to softs. But the thing is, with the safety car out, I could have just gone longer on the soft tyres, and now we've got everyone around me who's gone on to hard tyres, and they could go to the end of the race here, but I've just locked myself into making another stop in this race, and I'm now down in 16th. So yeah, the more I watch this back, the more I wonder why I did that. Obviously we made a bold strategy call here last season, and it ended up working quite well. So I was sort of hoping the same would happen here, and that this would somehow make sense. But the more I watch it back, the more I wonder why I did it. But nonetheless, then we're 16th. Then we're going to be finally back racing here on the start lap 4. We've got some work to do now then, because obviously we've got some cars around us here potentially going to the end of the race then on these tyres, and we really can't afford to be stuck behind them. We've got to try and make some moves quite early on here then if we can. And well, it helps a bit there that TLR10 and Quibolda, who are both on that hard tyre strategy, we're scrapping a bit there, so that's going to just maybe give us a little bit of a chance here then. We're quite close to the back of Quibolda here then, as we head up now then down the Kemmel Straight. We'll see if we can get in the slipstream in there here then, and hopefully go for a move into Le Com. And we're getting on him quite a bit. I don't think we're going to be quite close enough, but then he just completely outbrakes himself there, runs into the back of TLR10, and that is surely going to be a broken front wing for him. He's obviously gone over the chicane there, but obviously he would have given that back anyway, and yeah, he had definite front wing damage there then. As it's JJ then, he was on a different strategy to all of us then on the soft tyres. He's running outside here then, he's going to get the inside line for turn 9, and well, that was very much on the limit there of what I think is okay, but thankfully we saw it coming then and managed to avoid, you know, a major collision there. But yeah, quite aggressive there, but as I say, we saw it coming, and yeah, that wasn't our fight there, because obviously he's on different tyres to us, so yeah, we need to let him go and do his own thing really, and we need to try and do our own thing here then and get past hard tyre runners here. As yeah, Jay then has passed LR10, who was out of shape into the bus stop here, so that's allowed us to get a good run then and get the move done then into the first corner, as JJ is continuing to pick off those places then. And we've got Edited next then up the road. He was also on medium tyres then. I don't think he pitted though, I think he was just further down the field than us at the start here, so hopefully we can get past him quite quickly here. As we're once again then in the slipstream down the Kemmel Straight, so hopefully we can get the move done here, or you know, force another mistake here potentially. As we're inside, it's actually JJ this time then who makes the error there and runs into the back of Dynamo Dan, and I think Edited had to take avoiding action there. And then we've got JP spinning off. Oliver is stopped on the middle in the road there, it looked like, and JJ there had no front wing from running into the back of Dynamo Dan, and all of a sudden we are in 11th position, so yeah, that's not worked out too badly for us then. That's quite a few cars out of the way for us, and hopefully now then we can continue to make some more progress here. As yeah, we're clutching at the back, to the back now then of Dynamo Dan here then in the Red Bull. Looked like he's a little bit out of shape in turn 1, so hopefully now that'll give us a good chance to get a good run here through Rouge and Radion. We're going to have DRS on then on this lap, and with the slipstream as well, I think this should be quite a straightforward overtake then, and indeed it is then. And well, we're finally back then up into the points, but yeah, it's a bit lower than we would like to have been here, and where we probably should have been if we hadn't, you know, made an interesting strategy call at the start there. At the end of lap 6 then we've got Slapbus in the pits, so that's presumably to go to the end from there if there aren't any more safety cars, but that moves up into 9th position now then. And then later on in the lap, the safety car does get deployed for a second time here, and I think we are going to pit again here then, because this would have been around about the time where if we had stayed on the soft tyres and there hadn't been any kind of safety cars, this would have been around about the time that we would have pitted for medium tyres here most likely. So that's what we're going to do now then, and obviously with a few laps here under safety car, there's a good chance now then that we will be able to make the medium tyres last to the end of the race here then, this second set of mediums I should say. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that the lap 1 pit stop was the wrong call here, because we didn't make up the ground on those behind us. Obviously Enrique is our teammate, we have to queue behind him for a second there. He started down in 15th and we haven't caught him back up, so you know, we could have been up in maybe like 5th or 6th at this point if we'd just stayed out at the start, but obviously we didn't do that. There's a bit of a mistake on my part there. Obviously, as I said, we made a very good strategy call here last season, and you know, you win some and you lose some, and that one didn't quite work out for us, but it could be worse. We're in 11th position now then, and well, in fact we can make that 10th then, because TLR10 just drove off the road there. Not really sure what happened, but yeah, that's a place game for us then, and we're up into the top 10 once again. So yeah, it could have been worse. We're in the points where, you know, back on the well, you know, we're all bunched up together here once again, so you know, we're still very close to the front runners here. and we've got, you know, still half the race, more than half the race here to try and recover some positions. We don't have any penalties. RJ has 3 seconds there then. Both he and TK Dab are on the hard tyres here, so hopefully we can overtake them. As I say, I was confident at this point that the medium tyres would go to the end, but I still wanted to get past these two quite quickly, just because, you know, just in case the hard tyres did come back into play near the end, if there weren't any more safety cars here. So yeah, I wanted to get a move done quite quickly here then on RJ, and we've got a good run here then through Blanchimont and towards the best stop chicane here. You get over to the inside line, so we'll try and go down the outside here. We're side by side, the yellow flags up in front of us there, and RJ has just about managed to maintain the position over us then, and yep, stay in 9th place for the time being here. But it does look like we're a little bit quicker, so hopefully we can get this move done sooner rather than later, although it is still quite close up in front of us here then between, well, most of the front runners here really. It's all looking quite close still. Obviously we've only just come back to green flag racing obviously after the safety car. But there you go, good run here then once again then, second time around on RJ. And looked like he was a little bit out of shape there then, almost ran to the back of our teammate there, and that might give us a chance now then to get a good run here. We're almost pushing him out of the final corner there, and well, we don't have DRS to get then, but we do have a good run here then. We had the slipstream and we are at the inside, and it looks like we are through then and up into 9th position there then. Next up the road then is our teammate Enrique, who has a 6-second penalty already then, so I think it's already looking quite likely that we'll be able to beat him here today then. And we gain a place there from Dynamo Dan spinning off, so that is us up into 8th position now then. And yeah, we're going to skip then, I think, yep, to later on in the lap, I think, or maybe the next lap there, where RJ there, just behind us there, has crashed out of the race at Paul Frere there, and that has brought out a 3rd safety car of this race then. Now, I decided this time that I wasn't going to pit under this one. It just didn't seem like it would be that beneficial, because the only option here would have been to go to soft tyres, and I thought they maybe wouldn't last the distance here. And I also didn't want to like pit and have a load of people stay out and then me have to, you know, burn up my tyres, having to work my way back through the field yet again, because I've already tried to do that once in this race, so it didn't feel like that was the right option to do. But the thing is, most of the people behind me did actually pit for soft tyres here, so there's a good chance now that we're going to be under attack from most of the people behind us here, which obviously hasn't quite worked out for us. It almost would have been worth pitting for soft tyres here then, just because we wouldn't have lost much in terms of position, but we would be in a good position to attack here. But we'd managed to get in place anyway then, because Dab there, not sure what his name is, but yeah, he spun off there then in the Mercedes there, and yeah, that moves up then into 6th position there. But yeah, as I said, you know, we've got a soft tyre runners now then on the attack of us. Slapbus is up first then, and he's at the inside then into the final chicane, and he should have this move done then, I would think now then. And yeah, through he goes then, completes it into Stavlo there, and well, he's got a 3-second penalty, so I think for now we just got to hope that the soft tyres do indeed drop off, as I was thinking might happen. And yeah, we'll obviously with penalties, hopefully we'll be able to gain some places here then, as we've got Emric there making a move on Deer Hunter for P5 there then, and behind us, well, we've got ABS Fun then also on fresh soft tyres there, just completely out traction just out of the final corner there, and moves himself up into 7th position. And Quibble there also waiting to make a move as well, but he has a 3-second penalty, so hopefully we can still be ahead of him there then. And well, in P1 there I lifted a little bit because I ran wide, because I was on 2 warnings at this point, so that's why I did that. I thought better to be safe than sorry there, just because I thought it was likely that Quibble was going to get through anyway, and I thought, you know, just avoid getting the penalty, and there's a good chance that we'll be able to get that position back anyway at the end. So that was my thinking there, and yeah, just sort of felt like the safe option to do there. On to the penultimate lap now then, we're down in 9th position, but we've got Enrique and Quibble there with penalties. We're still quite close to the back of Deer Hunter here. I've still got quite a lot of VRS left as well, and that front group isn't too far up the road either, so there could be people with big penalties there. So I still think there are quite a few positions here up for grabs, and we've got a great run here now then with DRS and a lot of VRS to use. We're passing Quibble, we're passing Deer Hunter up the inside here. We're still side by side then with the Haas driver. We give him a lot of space there, but he understeers into us. We ran a little bit wide, and I think he spun off there, and we're up into 7th position. And yeah, we finally just went for it there then, down the straight, using quite a lot of our ERS there that we had saved up. and yet powered past Deer Hunter there, who was really sitting duck without DRS there. And then, well, we left space for Quibolda. I think he just understeered into us there. Bit of a racing incident, but yeah, certainly not my fault there, I don't think. As we can now then head on to the final lap of the race, and as I said before, it was always quite likely here that we were going to beat Enrique because he had that 6-second penalty, but I think we've got a good chance now then of completing the move on the track here, because we've still got quite a bit of ERS left, and we're going to have DRS here then, and he isn't, and gets quite straightforward there. In the end, we finally, on the final lap of the race then, having followed him for what felt like quite a long time, we finally managed to actually overtake him then, and we got ourselves up into 6th place here then, and I think that's likely to be where we finish here then, as yeah, it's going to be a new driver then to the league, BRT Wolf, who is going to, I think, take the win here, because I think Slapbus crossed the line first but had penalties here, so it was indeed Wolf that took the win, and AVS Fan was actually second across the line, had a penalty, had that removed, so yeah, back up to second for him. He only overtook us with a few laps to go, and he ends up second in the end then, so an impressive comeback drive from him there. Alex is going to be third then in the end, Bybin in fourth. As I say, it's Slappercent who's actually fifth in the end, having actually crossed the line first, I believe. And then we are sixth with Deer Hunter seventh, Enrique in eighth, Quibolda, and then Edited Fawn, rounding out the points finishers. Round 2 of the season brings us to Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, and we are 10th on the grid, but the build-up to this one certainly did not at all go to plan. Just having so many issues with screen freezing here. I mean, you can see things aren't running quite right at the moment, and yeah, it certainly hampered my qualifying. I only got to do one running qualifying because of the issues, because the screen's frozen there, and we are dropping to the back, and I really just could not be bothered with this, and you can see I'm at the back here already, and I just was in a state of rage. I just quit the game basically in a second, didn't even take the start, but then I calmed myself down a bit, did some speed tests and managed to rejoin thankfully. But yeah, we're well down the field down now in 12th position, and well, thankfully not long after I rejoined, a safety car actually did get deployed and I was able to get back into this one. So unless we start having problems again, then we could still salvage them from this race, which would be certainly something, because I really just didn't think anything would be at all possible. Like the way my game was running, like during like the second half of qualifying and then going into the race, I just thought that there was no chance, because like you could see just from that one little bit I showed you, I could barely drive. Like the screen was freezing for like several seconds at a time, and it was like every few seconds as well. So like with that was why I quit initially, because I thought there was just no chance I was going to be able to drive like that, and chances are I was going to be getting in people's way. So that was why. But then I know I tested my connection a few times afterwards, because I thought, well, it would be a shame to just get nothing from the race and give up so soon. And yeah, it seemed to get a little bit better, so I tried to rejoin here and see what happened. I initially went over to hard tyres, and then I realised that was the wrong call really, and that I could probably go to the end on mediums and it would be quicker. So yeah, I kind of threw away a few positions there, but I mean, this race was already a mess for us as it was, so I don't think it's going to make much of a difference here. We are 15th then out of 16 that are still running, and we are behind, not my teammate, it's Pineda, who is another reserve here, because my actual teammate also didn't race in this one. So yeah, we're behind Pineda then in the other Ferrari for this race, and we are back racing now then on lap 13, and we'll see now then what we can do from here. We've once again found ourselves down the field for the second race in a row here, but yeah, we'll just have to see what kind of progress we can make. Now then, in this race, still more than half the race to go, and obviously we're on the back of the pack once again then, with everyone close together again. So yeah, still potential then for a lot to happen here then, and we'll just have to see what we can do from here now then. As up in front of us then, we've actually got a collision there between the two Aston Martins, and for the second race in a row, Pingu has crashed out there. I think that's 2 races in a row that he actually got collected by someone else's spin there. This time GC and the other Aston Martin there that spun out. As we skip on to lap 15 now then, there's a little bit of a train here behind another reserve driver here. I think it's Conrad in the McLaren, and he's got where's him then, Bybin, then Pineda, then me, I see that Pineda's there has left the door open a little bit into toast there, so I actually went for out the inside. I had been following him for a few laps, so yeah, I sort of could tell that I could maybe have a chance there if the door was open again, and yeah, I took it on that occasion then, and I'm now up into 11th position, so only just outside the points now then at this stage, as we are following then Bybin through Emilia-Romagna. He loses the back end there, and well, now we are up into the points then, and Conrad already then with a 3-second penalty, so we are effectively 9th then at this stage. So yeah, hopefully we can get past him quite soon then, and yeah, just goes trying to get charge of those further up the field then. So we did a little bit of a dummy there towards the first corner. We had DRS there on Conrad, and we are through down then and into 9th position. And then right behind us there's actually a collision there between him and Pineda. Yeah, the other Ferrari then is out of the race, and that is going to be another safety car here then. As yeah, but as I already said though, we're on medium tyres to the end now. I didn't really feel like it was worth pitting here, but some people did pit here then. JJ was in, Artem, Wolf, they were all in. I don't know what tyres they were on beforehand, so I'm not really sure why they pitted there, but yeah, they're on medium tyres now then. And yeah, we're in 6th then all of a sudden, so yeah, this is certainly not turned out too badly then at this point, with 13 laps to go here then as we're going to get back racing. I'll see Wolf and Artem both very quick though, so they'll probably be on us quite a lot here, as Dynamo Dan was actually out of shape there at the second Ravazza there, so that's going to put us right on him now then. We're side by side and we're already through then. Wolf is right behind us and in fact bump drafting us a little bit there towards the first corner, but we are going to get into the first corner then, up in 5th position now, and Oliveira up in front of us here then with 6 seconds of penalties, so we are effectively 4th then at this stage. So yeah, it's looking very nice for us at the moment, as Oliveira has just overtaken ABS Fan there then in the Mercedes, and looking a little bit slow at the moment, so hopefully now then we can make the most of that. But obviously we're going to be looking behind us quite a lot here, because obviously Wolf and Artem are both there, and as I mentioned, they both did well in, well, they're both looking quick in Spa, so yeah, I imagine they'll be putting a lot of pressure on us here then in these remaining laps. As ABS Fan there, very start of Acqua Minerale, we almost got squeezed out there, but we're alongside now then towards the Variante Alta, and we are through then and up into 4th position now then, effectively on the podium at the moment with that Oliveira penalty. And well, this has just been quite the turnaround so far then, as we're looking at Oliveira now then, who does look a bit slow at the moment and now has 9 seconds of penalty, so we really want to just try and get past him here as quickly as we can, because yeah, obviously we don't need to be racing him at the moment, and yeah, he cut Perotella a little bit, and that's just sort of slowing us down a little bit. And now Wolf has got to run us then right outside into Acqua Minerale, and then we've just been completely cut across there and spun out, and just when it looked like we were going to salvage something for nothing, we're back to almost nothing here then. We've got a big gap back to 11th place, but we're down in 10th, and that is, well, as I say, we thought we'd somehow salvage something, and then it's just gone again. And to be fair, I've seen like some other perspectives of this race, and I think my connection issues were just continuing to play up because my car kept on ghosting when it was around other people, so I sort of given Wolf the benefit of the doubt on that one. I think I probably wasn't there on his screen, just based on the way that he took that corner, and then it just didn't seem to affect him at all really when yeah, he hit me there, so I think there's a good chance that I probably wasn't there on his screen. So yeah, I gave him the benefit of the doubt on that one really, but still is very annoying for that to have happened. And yeah, we'll just have to try and salvage what we can get now then. We're up into 9th place. I don't think we were on for a podium. As I say, Wolf and Artem were looking very quick. I think a top 5 finish was certainly looking very possible. And well, we've now got a penalty as well then, so it's going to be even harder for us to recover something now. And that was quite frustrating as well, because I wanted to try and go on a streak of no penalty races like we had last season, but I think it was this race last season as well that ruined it for us as well with that. So yeah, this track has bitten us on both occasions, and in terms of penalties we are up to 8th place now though, at least, because Oliveira then, his race has completely fallen apart as well then. He's gone off there and he has 15 seconds of penalties as well. And now on lap 30 we've got Artem, who is off the road there, and I think has actually spun there at the chicane, so that moves us up into 7th place. We're catching ABS Fan very quickly here, but he doesn't have a penalty, so it really doesn't matter here. We're not going to be overtaking him here by the looks of things. We've got a chance of catching JJ because he does have 9 seconds of penalties there. So if we're within 6 seconds, then we could have a chance here of beating him. As we've got the run here on ABS Fan on the final lap, and we are up into 6th place for the time being. But we'll have to see then what position it actually is. Well, it's going to be 7th place by the looks of things because, well, we just went a little bit further to destroying our own race there by having a half spin at Tozer. Like, not much in this race has been our fault, but that certainly was. And yeah, made a mistake there. And it looks like ABS Fan is going to beat us regardless then. And annoyingly, we're now over 6 seconds behind JJ, so it does not look like we're going to have any chance of catching him here then in this race and taking a position off of him. So it looks like it is going to be 7th then, as we are on the track here. Running wide again, just to really pile it on there at the end. And yeah, it's 7th place then, but I mean, at some point I didn't think I was even going to get that, so I guess that's something to be happy about at least. Slapbus then, for the 2nd race in a row, crosses the line first and does keep the win this time then. Wolf was in 2nd then, Alex was in 3rd, and GC recovered there to 4th in the end. We were 7th there. Yeah, it was ABS Fan and then JJ up in front of us there. In the championship, well, we haven't finished in the top 5 yet, but we are in 5th in the standings. I think just because everyone below us hasn't really been consistent so far. Everyone else has had only 1 points finish, and yeah, we've had 2. And then obviously the top 4 have also all had 2 points finishes so far. Wolf leads the way then with the 1st and 2nd so far. He's on 43. Slapbus there in 2nd and Alex in 3rd. And yeah, ABS Fun then just 2 points behind him. So yeah, there is a little bit of a gap back to us though, to be fair. We are, as I say, we are 5th, but there is certainly a gap there between us and the top 4. And we're sort of just about leading the best of the rest, I guess, at the moment then. Just ahead of Bybin and GC there. So yeah, it hasn't quite been the start to the season I wanted here. As I say, I think it could have been worse, given some of the decisions I made and also some of the things that went wrong for me. But still, hasn't quite been what I wanted, and I hope that results can improve a little bit. Obviously, a bit of a longer season this time, 15 races, so plenty of time to turn things around. But yeah, I think I'll round it up then for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, really appreciate a like on the video, and I'll see you next time.